Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Contractor. Go like this. Ask the Contractor. I'm excited to get to this video. This is the 5th episode in this little series that I've done here. I think overall, the really important thing to learn throughout this series, if there's a theme that I could pick out of all of this, is not really the questions that you're going to ask. It's really how your contractor or the person that you're interviewing is answering those questions. The question is just there to understand the person, and what you get back is really more important. It's really just a clearer indication of how they operate, the person you're dealing with right then and there, and how your experience might transfer. The last two questions that I'm going to be talking about in this series are what warranties and services are included, and how do we handle mistakes and disagreements. These two questions are probably the most important questions of anything that you could be asking your contractor or the person that you're going to be working with, because this is longevity stuff. This is things that happen a year beyond the project being done. And at the same time, you also want to understand how you're going to be dealing with things that come up throughout the process when you have mistakes or disagreements, because it is not uncommon for a contractor to make a mistake, to install the wrong finish, to not follow the plan correctly. The question is how does the contractor deal with those things? And how do you as the client deal with disagreements that at the end of the day, you may actually need to take a concession on, that you may actually need to pay for because of? So let's get into it. Is there a warranty for your service or material? This is a great question to ask at the end of your interview, because the last 10 questions that we've asked, we've gotten a lot of information about. So now they can't really backpedal on any of the other information they've given you. They have to be clear about how they handle these things at this point in time. So you've probably even spoken about this in some detail from the other questions that we've asked, but now you're asking specifically, how do you deal with this? Most contractors do offer a warranty on their work, depending on the work. It's important to understand what it covers and for how long it's going to be in effect for. To add to that, depending on what the scope of work is, manufacturers may also have warranties provided in their products as well. So an AC unit might have 7-year warranty, but the labor warranty may only be 1 year. So knowing that if the machine breaks down, hey, at least whatever parts and mechanical issues might happen, that might get covered, but you still may need to pay a service fee. Okay, at least you're knowledgeable about what you're going to come up with. Let's get into the details of this. Warranties of all natures are something that is on everyone's mind, right? If you're paying a high ticket price for something, you kind of want to know that you've secured it, that there's some semblance of security to that price. It's kind of like an insurance policy of some sort. I think every contractor offers a warranty that they can actually provide. Meaning, in the different price levels that you're going to find, you may find somebody who wants to stand by their work and give you everything that they've got. But if you've paid them at the bottom level, they're most likely not going to be able to service you. Meaning, even if they said, yeah, hey, I'll come back and take care of that tile that's misplaced, or I'll fix that leaking faucet, not a problem, you're probably not going to be taken care of immediately. It's probably going to be something that's going to take you months to get them out there for. You're probably going to have to do a large majority of the work to remind them to show up, to call them on a weekly basis, to bug them enough to get them out there where you'll stop calling them. It just comes at that sort of grade, right? And if you're hiring someone at the higher tier, they probably have a system in place that allows them to go do that. Meaning, even for me, I have assistant project managers who will go and just handle stuff. Like, I'll call up somebody and be like, hey, this house has this and this problem. Please go over there and deal with it. Done. Like, they don't need to bug me. They don't need to, question whether I'm coming or not. I'm going to be there. If I'm not there, someone from my team is going to be there, because you're paying me at a level that deserves that service, right? I can afford to do that for you. So it's really important to understand that depending on how they answer is a clear indication of what their price is going to be as well. A lot of times they might say, like, I'll take care of that, but you got to pay for materials. Doesn't matter what it is, right? So I got to fix this crack. Okay, well, I'm still going to charge you a bill of $150 for the gas that I had to go drive to the store, the caulking itself, the this, the that, the the pan, the plastic, the tape, that, you know, and they're gonna bill you anyways. So are you really getting a great deal out of it? Okay, fine. So instead of it being $300, it's $150. That's 50% off. That's a huge discount, but you're talking about a service call. Okay, you're not talking about $10,000 worth of work that you're getting for $5,000. Overall, it also depends on the type of work you're doing, because, you know, if you're really just considering these small service fees, you might as well just say, hey, over the lifespan of something, if I don't have to deal with those fees, you know, they're just going to come in and take care of it. That's also a huge benefit, right? Like, would you rather say, let me pay $1,000 now and never get a bill about $100 ask, or do you want to be asked like for $100 every single time? That amount of money is fluctuates. It's not real. But the point is I think the higher in contract that you get, the less you're going to be asked for money. This is a large ranging scope of conversation, and I think it requires a lot to discuss. So if I don't hit a certain idea that you're thinking about or have a question about, feel free to leave them down below, and I will be doing more videos on this. There is a difference in remodel warranties and new construction warranties. There are state codes that require you to provide a warranty if you're a licensed contractor. So keeping those things in mind, doing the research that's required, and listen very carefully to how your contractor responds. Let's get into how to handle mistakes and disagreements. This is a tough question, one that even I've had trouble figuring out how I like to deal with them, because it's not easy. Mistakes and disagreements can happen. You should be asking your contractor how they handle disputes. And to be honest, you're better off hearing that your contractor has had issues in the past, but be interested and how those conflicts were resolved. Like, were they adamant that the client had to pay and they sent a change order and dealt with it, and that's how they dealt with it? Or were they reasonable about it? Did they go 50-50 on it? Did they do everything that they can to resolve the problem before jumping to increased costs? How did they deal with the issue? Did they own up to the mistake but ask you for help paying for it? How are they normally dealing with those sort of things? These are the things you want to be hearing. Those are those things. And again, there's no right answer, because for you, everything depends on what's important to you, right? You may want a cheaper price and pay for those issues later, or you may want a more expensive price and not have to deal with those issues. So be cognizant of what your needs are and listen carefully to their responses, because what they respond to with those questions are going to help you clearly identify who the right contractor is. Now, I really hope this series helps you. This is my last question in my 5-part series here, but I really do want to do more videos just like this for Ask the Contractor series, and I want to answer your questions. I want to know what you think is important and how I can help you discern better what these questions mean, what those answers mean, and how more I can help you find the right contractor. Go ahead, let me know down below, leave some comments, and I promise I'll see you on the next episode. Say hi.
Bye.